Alliance. See the play on words, Creative Alliance, Creative Collab Night. Every third Wednesday, hold on. Oh, Collab Night is a CA event. Every third Wednesday, 7 to 10. All shows on Open Canvas. FU YouTube. And every Monday, 6 p.m. Comcast 17. Tell me to turn off camera.
If you don't want to be videotaped.
Oh, yeah, so this thing we do here, it's on YouTube and it's on channel 17. So if you're, not so confident in your looks, then you may want to say and request that we do not film you, and we won't. You may not be confident in your looks, or you may just be paranoid. Somebody might see you do your thing and want to steal your ideas. You know what I'm saying? It happens to me all the time. You know what I'm saying? There's a little somebody named, but goes by the name of Jay-Z, stole a bunch of my ideas. So I quit wearing suits, grew my hair out and everything. Like, forget this, I don't need it. I ain't need it no way, you know what I'm saying? Cost of living is cheap in Flint, you know what I'm saying? I don't need no $1 million ideas, Also, feel free to use the microphone, or not, because I think you could probably still hear me now. Oh, the list. Oh, okay, the canvas. Okay, so if any of you feel so inclined, you can feel free to paint on this canvas, but don't get married to your ideas on canvas, because other people can also paint on the same canvas. So it's Collab Night, collaborative canvas, but it's open to everyone. I find it rather therapeutic between sessions. Also, if you feel like you got some skills that you would like to share with the rest of the gang, then feel free to sign up here on this here sign-up sheet. And also, us being the Creative Alliance, if you've never heard of us, what we are is a loose collection of artists. And we meet every first Wednesday, 7 p.m. at Churchill's. So you can come out, join us. What we like to do is support local artists and the arts, and bring the community and the arts together. And we put on events at certain venues to allow certain artists to express their art, whether by display, like these lovely pieces here, or on the microphone, as you see me standing in front of now. And often these things are a great opportunity for us to, how shall I say, rub elbows. Which I don't know why people rub elbows, but apparently it's a thing. I think it's European. It's European, what do you call it? Custom.
Eskimos do that.
No, they do the noses, I think. Eskimos rub noses, Europeans rub elbows. Whatever that's about. But, they could chafe your elbows, I think, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not all down with just rubbing them. It's uncomfortable to me. I tried it before. So, I'll be your host for the night. And if you didn't hear my name, when I mentioned it to someone, as I was walking into this establishment, I go by Silver Hawkins. Silver Hawkins. And so give it up for me.
Yeah.
Woo!
Woo,
Come on,
sir.
come on. Yeah, yeah. Wait, hold on. Is the camera picking that up?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I understand your excitement, you know. It's a rare occasion that I get to host these events, you know, and it's always very special to me. Whether there's, you know, usually this place is packed out when I'm hosting, but, you know, very little advance notice. You know, I only found out, what, a couple days
Friday?
ago.
Friday when I saw you. At
Friday?
our walk. Yeah, because I...
So what happened to the promotion?
Oh, there was an event put out, yeah. There's an event.
Was there?
Yeah. Yeah.
It said my name?
Yeah.
No, it didn't. You're lying.
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
It did have the host name, but it did have Terry Kinsey. I wasn't sure
Whoa,
what name you
whoa,
wanted me to use.
Well, look, I only got 5 names. I mean,
Maybe like Facebook and say, hey, pick one. Just pick one. Stick with it. No.
So yeah, she used my other name. That's why everybody ain't here today.
Oh.
But it's cool because we're here, and that's all that matters,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And we got people with art skills that want to share, right?
Right.
Who's all signed up here? Raise your hands.
Actually,
1, we got 2, we got 3. I see more than 3 names on the list though, but you know, if you're shy, it's okay. Now what was I saying? You were gonna say something, right?
I was gonna do that for you too.
What was you gonna say there?
I was gonna hold this up for you too, like I was doing with the cards. If you can read it.
Oh, so I can read names
Yeah.
off of it?
Yeah. Can you read it?
Okay, well, you
Or is
know,
it too small?
just like when in my days of high school basketball playing point guard, I used to like to call my own number a whole lot. You know, all game long. So I'm going to do that again. I'm starting this thing off
Okay,
myself.
Cool. Okay, cool.
And I'm going to read to you something that I wrote.
Okay, cool.
And I'm going to set this thing off.
Okay.
How do you like those apples? Oh, I got a text from you.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I could hear your voice, but I wasn't sure.
It said, "Don't forget Collab Nite."
Yeah.
She knows me because I be forgetting, man. I'll be like, "Oh, that was today." Okay. Let me see here. I got all kinds of poems. Okay, I like this one. This one's pretty okay. It's one of my more recent writings. And, you know, just on a side note, if you only hear one poem from me, my poems vary greatly from one to the next, so you won't be able to figure out my style, so don't even try. Alright, I like to call this my reflection. Because there's another half to it somebody else wrote, and I kind of wrote this off of theirs. So I had a leg up. Elvis and John Wayne. Wait, hold on, I changed that. Walt Disney and John Wayne. What happened was I did a little research, right? And I found out after diligent research that Elvis did not fit in this line. So I removed him. I corrected myself and I fixed it. So okay, here it goes. All right. Elvis and John Wayne, my bigot heroes. KKK to kill Kunta Kinte. Enraged wave slaves meet early grave retirements. Mixed power. The future faces one race. That's right, mixed power. As the unfinished pyramid turns on its head, the eye closes for good. Your coins aren't the kind of change we're begging for. An undertaker in the death of poisoned ideology. Cursed earth, fools and money, queer bedfellows in the war on environment. And time's sand slips through fingers. The executioner selling sugar-coated cyanide. Babies nursed with fantasies. Partial birth abortion of the brain. Antidepressants. Intrusion of the dream catchers. All the while we speak of preservation, laying pipe between the legs of Sue's nation. Lady Liberty with a strap-on and cream. Cyrus the Great and Sojourner Truth. Martin Luther and King James subterraneously freed slaves, leading to the greener pastures of a deeper comprehension. Vanity and greed at every speakeasy. Chopping rainforest for cattle pasture to Mickey D's. Mercury from silver mining changes something in line with the infrastructure's crumbling. And the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but having new eyes. New eyes. That was pretty deep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gets down like that. I'm gonna do one more because I kind of like the positive energy I was feeling there. Okay. I like this one. In the blue of the silver moon, glow of the platinum stars, lines of a ghostly grin, ring of the water jars, rhythm seem to bounce within, move through the tapping hands, sound born from a whim, a slight intoxicated lad, put the crack back in the bag, tell him you don't want it quick, get the blazes out of there and never flame that head again. Dude, I really mean it. People kick the dope, I seen it. Better to be a straight edge than a zombie on some bean tip. My bad though. I digress, I'm vibing more on present tense. I mean appreciate this evening like a poppin' ember seething, bask in my company. Yeah, people find me quite receiving, though so many be deceiving. Seeing ain't always believing, that's when I be leaving. Yes, I know I got good reason for what I do believe in. See, I'm cleaving to the good and decent, resulting these good times recent. Succeed despite doubting precepts. Yes, I needed a few re-steps, but who hasn't ever relapsed? All the haters, shut your traps. Negatory, take it back. Let that wicked tongue take a nap. Reach the sky, my wings will flap. You pigeons, I ain't taking crap. I don't need you or your dapping. We could just leave it at that. I'm paying all my people's back. Running hard, won't go off track. Keep my guard, you won't pierce that. Keep your girl, man, she's a rat. I don't want a rally cat. Though your crony said is fat, you track the streets and raise your gat. Over an unfaithful brat, your stony heart is finally cracked. Under pressure, love her spat, no rest until she's falling flat. Spray her till she's painted black. Send upstate, ain't coming back. Call him Christ, you need him stat. ASAP. But in the cool of the summer night, flow of the rushing stream, breeze through the bending pines, ring of a crystal dream. See us bounding through the fields, watch us dance, hear us sing, see the wonder in our eyes. Life is a beautiful thing. But don't throw it all away. Please don't throw it all away. Live to see another day. It can go a different way. Yes, I seen it when I pray. The true beams and like a ray. So many reasons you should stay. But it's crunch time, said it's crunch time. I remember standing in lunch lines. Can't say we ever had much. Just had to learn to be clutch. I'm not past time, I won't pass. I'm standing up to the task. I needed to grow up fast. I'm not past prime, I won't crash. I'm in my lane better than last time. Beat the flames back from the gas line. Won't stand around to be chastised. I'm coming out the water baptized. I'm not trapped. I got a little something in the stash. Got a little something in the dash. Hit the corner almost in the grass. Really don't mean to be crass. I just speak my mind all the time. In my rhyme, I see beauty in life till I go blind. I'll just keep reaching till I hold mine. The word of the Lord is a gold mine. Hold me up so now I'll never fold. I wonder if I'll make it to be old. I won't rest till 100 records sold. I just got a story needed to be told. I got a balance between humble and bold. I remember how my granny used to scold. I got a whooping I should have never stole. I learned my lesson sitting in the cold. I clear my mind, use my mind, free my mind. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, that was different from the first one.
It was.
Different. Okay. Now, I gave people enough time to sign up on this list. And so I guess I'm just gonna read a name off of here. I'm gonna just hold this because everybody's writing ain't so good. Alright, so first name up here on the list that I'm seeing is a guy who he needs some introduction. He's one of the few Flint historians out here, still recording the history as it unfolds here for this city and putting it in book form so that people who are interested in history, so that the future don't repeat itself, can delve into those pages and glean from the experience and the knowledge and data, whatever it is they're trying to find out about the history of Flint, right? So give it up for Gary Flinn. Yeah!
Thank you.
Yeah!
Or should I say silver? Whichever you prefer.
Yeah, don't listen to her.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Just dried at the end of the line.
Okay, I'm reading from my Hidden History of Flint book, which is available at many places locally and also online through the usual sources. And the cover price on this book is $21.99.
Only $21.99.
And alluding to your suggestion that some people steal ideas, well, this book is copyright 2017 by Gary Flinn, all rights reserved.
Smart man.
Yeah. And the chapter I'm reading is inspired by a recent tour that, well, this occasionally happens, but the Whaley House, which is mentioned in the chapter I'm reading, they held a walking tour of East Kersey Street, showing where some historic houses once were. So we just walked from Whaley House down to Applewood and back, talking about the historic homes that once stood along the way. Not that many homes are there now, but two historic homes that were occupied by notable business people are still standing, as you know, and a couple of other homes that were occupied by other people, including one historic home which was occupied by a physician, but because he was a physician and not a businessman, he's not in this book. So here's the chapter called The Executive Homes on East Kearsley Street. When Charles Stewart Mott's Applewood estate was being built on what was then the edge of town on East Kearsley Street in 1916, that street east of downtown served as the home for many notable executives. For example, George C. Wilson at 422 East Kearsley Street was a banker and served as the director and chairman of the Genesee County Savings Bank, which evolved into Genesee Merchants Bank and Trust Company through the merger of Merchants of Canning's Bank. Wilson's mother, by the way, is W-I-L-L-S-O-N, so it's two L's in the name. Wilson's mother was a daughter of local lumber baron and Michigan Governor Henry H. Crapo. The home he grew up in is now Wilson Park on the University of Michigan Flint downtown campus. Charles Stewart Mott lived across the street at 423 East Kearsley. When he moved into Applewood, Albert Champion moved into that house. Champion founded two spark plug companies. He was a bicycle racer who founded the Albert Champion Company in Boston in 1905 in partnership with the Stranahan brothers. By 1907, they were manufacturing spark plugs. In 1908, Billy Durant persuaded Champion to move to Flint to establish the Champion Ignition Company. The Stranahans filed a lawsuit over the Champion name. That led to a settlement in 1922 in which the Champion Ignition Company was renamed the AC Spark Plug Company using Champion's initials. At the time J. Brantford Pengali lived at 412 East Kearsley, he was Reverend Pengali, director of St. Paul's Episcopal Church. He later changed careers and became a real estate developer. For example, he led the group of developers that built the Capitol Theater. Behind that theater building was a former Patterson factory building that he converted into an office building called the Pengali Building, where he established his office. It served as a home for several labor unions and the base of operations for the 1936-37 Flint sit-down strike. The aging building was torn down in 1946. He also dabbled in politics as an unsuccessful candidate for Congress and served as a state commissioner. Pengali was caught up in a bribery scandal in 1932, while he was eventually cleared of charges, not before he was forced into bankruptcy. During the Great Depression, he lost the Pengali building in the foreclosure. He moved away and resumed his ecclesiastical career, or should I say pastoral career, where for 412 East Kearsley Street once stood his University of Michigan Flint downtown campus. Walter P. Chrysler, who led the Buick Motor Division of General Motors in 1917, lived at 514 East Kearsley. Chrysler left GM when his contract with GM expired in 1919. In 1921, Chrysler acquired controlling interest in the Maxwell Motor Company, which became Chrysler Corporation. After Chrysler moved away, Dodge dealer Dallas Winslow moved in. Winslow tried to save the ailing Patterson Company, but he was unsuccessful. Later serving as home to an architect, it was gone by 1972. Horace C. Spencer lived at 517 East Kearsley Street. He was a banker God's star in the local hardware business. He held executive positions with Genesee County Savings Bank and as Citizens Commercial and Savings Bank. That address would become the King's Daughters and Sons home. As with neighboring homes, it fell victim to the construction of I-475. James G. Mallory lived at 527 East Kearsley. He owned the Flint Buggy Company. His son Harvey also worked at the Buggy Company. Harvey later became a vice president and controller at Buick.
Rewind!
James G. Mallory lived at 527 East Kearsley. He owned the Flint Buggy Company. His son Harvey also worked at the Buggy Company. Harvey later became a vice president and controller at Buick. He moved into the house after his father's death. Arthur G. Bishop and his son R. Spencer Bishop lived across what was then Richfield Road, later Lewis Street, and even later Chavez Drive. The younger Bishop lived at 528 Kearsley, and the elder lived at 606 Kearsley. Both led Genesee County Savings Bank, and Arthur G. Bishop donated land for the development of Bishop Airport. Harry Weingarten lived at 621 East Kearsley. The Russian immigrant co-founded the New Orleans Fruit House, which was a successful fruit and later meat market. Harry and his brother Hyman added another business venture, Weingarten Furniture. He would become a director of Citizens Bank. He co-founded the local Reformed Synagogue, Temple Bethel. Robert J. Whaley was another banker who led Citizens Bank. The loans he approved led to the formation of General Motors. That home at 624 East Kersley is still standing and is now the Whaley Historic House Museum. Edward T. Strong lived at 703 East Kersley. He was a Buick executive who would go on to become president at Buick. He later built and moved into a large castle-like Mediterranean revival house in the Worthcroft Estate subdivision south of Miller Road, where grander executive homes were built beginning in 1925. Built in 1930, and later owned by members of the Hamdy family of local grocery fame, the home on Parkside Drive was recently restored by its current owners. The Kersley Street home had disappeared by the time Walker School, now the Walker Place building, was being built. Charles D. Bridgman lived at 814 East Kersley. He was the Bridgman half of the Smith Bridgman department store downtown, which became Flint's largest department store in his peak years. Bridgman was the first president of the Union Trust and Savings Bank, which is located downtown where the Mount Foundation building now stands. The Kersley Manor apartment building now stands where the Bridgman house once stood. Matthew Davison was also an executive at Union Trust and Savings Bank. He served as the bank's cashier for many years and ultimately served as chairman of the board. He also served as Flint mayor in 1885. He lived at 817 East Kersley where Walker Place now stands. John G. Windiot lived at 902 East Kersley. He was a real estate developer and a partner in Windiot Pierce Davison Real Estate Firm with John L. Pierce and Arthur M. Davison. The firm developed several subdivisions in Flint. Townhouses were built where Windiot lived. At 1025 East Kersley stood a large stately house where carriage and automaker J. Dallas Stewart lived. After he died, his widow Marcia continued to live in that house until she donated in 1958 for use as a music school, which developed into the Flint Institute of Music. Originally called the Dort Music Building, expansion began in 1970 in the old Dort home. During construction, the former home was destroyed by fire. Today, the expanded facility housing the Flint Institute of Music is called the J. Dallas Stewart Music Center, and houses the Flint School of Performing Arts and the Flint Symphony Orchestra. Finally, where Kersley Street now ends at Robert T. Longway Boulevard, is Mott's Applewood Estate. After Charles Stewart Mott's widow Ruth Mott died in 2012, the Ruth Mott Foundation took over Applewood, which began offering regularly scheduled tours in 2016 to mark Applewood's centennial. Finally, where Kersley Street now ends at Robert T. Longway Boulevard is Mott's Applewood Estate. After Charles Stewart Mott's widow Ruth Mott died in 2012, the Ruth Mott Foundation took over Applewood, which began offering regularly scheduled tours in 2016 to mark Applewood's centennial. Applewood also offers scheduled events and exhibits. The addresses and residents were researched utilizing volumes of Flint City directories published by R.L. Polk and Company. That's my piece for this week.
Yeah! Woo! Good job. Got a piece of Flint history. Ain't that nice? And we're gonna keep the ball rolling, right?
Do you want to make more announcements or no?
No, it's too early for that. Let me see the list. Come on with the list. Okay. All right, I'm seeing the name. It's coming clear. Hold it still. Come on, man. What's that third one down? What's that third one down?
Justin Scanlon.
Is there a Justin Scandalous here?
That's a scam.
Justin Scandalous.
No, I'm not here. There's a customer Scanlon, but
Scanlon.
There's a scandalous.
Justin Scanlon. He said get it right.
no.
Ain't no scandal in this mandolin.
Oh, God, no.
We'll give it up for him. Make him feel welcome. Here at Collab Open Mic Night. I've seen this guy before. He's a wild man. Wild man. Oh, we got. What's going on?
Just gonna plug him in.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I did something.
Oh, you did something.
Oh, now I see.
Justin, this is a new board, so.
Telling you, we need a big hook.
Take a minute.
I want to be able to control the
Hey, you
hook,
can't
though.
hook the host. You know what I'm saying? It don't work that way.
I should be able to hook anybody.
The host gets the hook. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I was saying, you know.
Oh, here, now you can do the announcements while you're waiting.
This guy's total wild man. Okay, so now I'll do those, okay?
Yeah, or we're
Listen
getting him set up.
Oh, he's plugged in, too late.
Keep
Are you all
going,
set?
man. You're fine.
Oh, okay. You sure? Are you ready? You need time?
He's getting tuned up.
We're learning about the new board here anyway, so
Okay, I'll let y'all get attuned while I drop a couple announcements on y'all's thinking caps. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, homeboy? I came from the hood, you know. You know, somebody look at me like that, man, you know, back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I'd have had to, you know what I'm saying? Want to host? It's pretty easy.
You don't have real high standards.
pretty easy to host up here. All you gotta do is fill out a triplicate form. We'll need your birth certificate, your ID, and the last 4 digits of your SOCH. That should be fine, and then we'll have to do a little background check, you know, a little credit check, and then we'll have to get back with you. Or, wait, flip back to that first page. Or you could just contact her, and she'll know right away, as soon as she talks to you, whether you're cool or not. And she'll say yes or yay or nay, if you can host or not. She might ask you a question or two, like, I don't know, what's
Do you
your
have
shoe
any
size?
felonies? Are you armed? No.
No, she
Sorry,
ain't gonna
I'm not
ask
gonna
you
ask
all
yet.
that.
I won't
She ain't
ask
gonna ask you. That ain't none of her business, and
It
she
is not.
knows that.
I
You
know
don't
it.
ask me, you know what I'm saying? This is an open carry state, by the way,
Yes.
and it's a stand your ground state. And, you know, we gotta start getting down like someone cast down in Texas and Wild West, you know, style, with, you know. I say more guns, you know, more guns deter gun violence.
Okay.
If everybody had a gun, the whole world would be
Yeah, okay, Spanky.
blind. All right, so what's the other one? Oh, you ready yet?
Yeah, and
You got
then,
it?
yeah, he's ready. We'll do the other one later.
I'm just giving you background music, amigo.
Thank you. I felt that. It made me want to keep talking.
That's why I'm paying attention here.
Okay, all right. You need,
Hey, even I
you
can afford paying attention.
you need this mic? Should I set it up for you? You need some
Oh, I can
adjustment?
shout over the room, but I'll take the mic, no problem.
Okay, let me hook you
It's
up
all
real
good.
quick. Now this guy, like I was saying, you know, he's a wild man. And he's gonna show us just how wild he can get, right?
No, actually, I was planning on playing some, like, cute hymns and stuff, like...
Oh, yeah.
Here, man, I don't even know how to do this, man.
I'll figure it out. I just move it forward until it...
I'll move it forward until my dentist starts counting his next vacation budget. You wake up in the morning and right away something starts to bring you down. The dreams you're having lately make you wanna move underground. You're feeling very bored, you're feeling restless to the core. You're looking for something, just looking. And the mannequins in satin walk along the sidewalks, whispering at windows. The shops are all deserted, the sleazy bars are closing. The emptiness just grows. Someone plays a chessboard called The Pieces People, a sacrifice is made. And the power that the clever call the clever vicious, they have come to stay. And they're feeling very bored, they're feeling restless to the core. They're looking for something, they're just looking. And the mannequins in satin walk the lonely sidewalks, whispering at windows. The shops are feed on whole cuisine, and it knows some dirty secrets to keep your business clean. While you're living inside a mansion, got the maids and the servants too. The walls are one-way mirrors reflecting me and you. And tell me that there's just one thing that he won't see. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing with me. Dozen long-stemmed roses greet you at every dawn, hand-cut by the gardener who trims your emerald lawn, while you flutter like a nightingale in the jewels of your rays. Lips as hard as porcelain, smile at the day's front page. 'Cause baby, there's just one thing that he can't see. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing with me. I'm telling you, there's just one thing that he can't see. That's what you're doing. And it's what you're doing with me. Private eyes watching our every move. Snapshots, nothing but pieces of a puzzle with nothing. What's it gonna prove? That baby, there's just one thing that he can't see. That's what you're doing. It's what you're doing with me. There's just one thing that he can't see. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing with me. That's what you're doing with me. Woo! Thank you. There's a chance we'll take every living breath. Ecstasy when love comes together. And the agony, gotta watch it fall apart. Agony won't crush the stone, the soul. It drives your heart that knew that every breath is a chance we take. From the cradle to the grave, and every moment makes and breaks us. Who can count the ways? Need you to light your light. Burn the glass, all the castles in darkness. I need you to light your light. Down the streets with every clear heart. The bitter lips pray, it's all in vain. The torch is twice as bright when we defy the night. We are new together like mountains, and there is so much more for us than all the pain and the hurt we've seen. You knew the hope is nothing but a tinsel prince till you grapple down despair. Love for us is eagle's wings. I'll see you in the air. your light, and burn to glass all the castles in darkness. I need you to light your light down the streets with every beat of your heart. Let the bitter lips pray it's all in vain. The torch is twice as bright when we defy the night. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Is that it?
That's 3 songs, you want more?
Okay, well, I'm gonna call you back up here probably in about, I don't know,
Well, whatever.
three, 4 months if you're still interested.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
It's hard to tell
you can get up
sometimes.
here more than once sometimes,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
especially when you don't have a lot of people signing up.
It's not a second.
And I don't know why,
Anyway.
Everybody should sign up, you know what I'm saying? We got a list right here, you put your name on it, I call your name, you come up here on stage, and you do whatever it is you want to do for a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no pay, you know what I'm saying? We poor, but you know, this here is free. And you can be free.
Well,
And we all can be free.
I think I'm next, and so.
You know what I'm saying?
And him before you would be anyway.
Are you lie?
I'm the other half of Fly. I'm Tyler.
Tyler? Give it up for Tyler, everybody. Woo! Cameraman. Action cameraman. Now, what y'all doing another Flint documentary?
It's not another one, but yeah, kind of the positive side.
I mean by another one, I mean by like all the others that are currently doing.
Not like that.
Oh, okay, it's different.
We're looking for the magic.
Magic to happen.
No, not
Here,
happen.
in Flint.
It's happening. We're seeing the magic.
Seriously.
Right now, you're part of it.
You're
I'll
part
show you some magic, you know what I'm saying? I'll take you over to the north side, all your money will disappear, you know what I'm saying? No, just kidding. Not really. But I want to encourage everyone that if you've never been on stage in front of a mic, in front of some people, do it now, because it's easier here. Because this is like all practice. It's all practice time for whatever it is you want to do. And
No buoy, no
I
loud.
want you to
Except for what's here.
stare into the light. You're getting sleepy and your thoughts are drifting away, and you feel the urge to get up and sign this paper. Get on stage and bring out hidden talents for everyone. I'm working on my hypnotizing, you know? It's a real thing. And I'm like, you know, if I could hypnotize somebody, I would never be single.
Look at they're responding back. Are you seriously reading the phone while you're up there?
That wasn't even my phone. All right, so yeah, we got somebody up on here. This here thing here. What do we got? Okay. It is my pleasure to introduce to those of you. Oh, look at that! It's a big deal. Somebody's signing the list right now as I speak, who I've never seen before. I see you. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to welcome to the stage Mark Taylor, the Funnyman.
Thank you very much.
You got some jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're kind of crowding in there, Gary. Okay.
Thank you very much. All right, yeah, I'm going this way. What is up, everybody? How is everybody doing out there today?
Pretty halfway
Yeah.
decent.
Love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Dude, I have changed. Anyway, so I tried to tell a secret at a bank, but they had too many tellers.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the fire that happened at a circus? Oh my God, it was intense. I had a clown open a door for me. It was a nice gesture. Oh yeah. So I had friends to tell me to quit imitating a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down. Oh. I tried to do jokes about saltine crackers, but I had to stop because I felt I was insulting them.
I get the low salt crack.
Yeah. So, did you hear about the guy that swallowed $200,000 in cold hard cash? He hasn't changed. So, a nurse walks into the doctor's office and says, "Doctor, there's a gentleman that's standing there in the waiting room who thinks he's invisible. What do I tell him?" He says, "Well, we can't see him today." So, the guy goes to the doctor, he says, "Doctor, I have a ringing in my ear. What do I do?" He says, "Well, don't answer." Thank you very much. Oh, I got a few more here.
Okay.
So anyway, there's a guy walks up to another guy and he says, "Hey, I just finished watching a woodworking show on TV." And he says, "Oh, really?" He says, "Yeah, you wouldn't believe what I saw."
Oh.
Where's Bob Vila when you need him? Anyway, so one more. So Dracula walks into the bar, and he's all down and out, and he walks up to the bar table, and there's a bartender standing there, and he says, "Drac, you look all down and out. What's going on?" He says, "Oh, my wife kicked me out of the house." He says, "Why did she do that for?" He says, "Because I was coughing." Well, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Good go! Okay. Next I'm gonna call up, who was that just signed the paper? Should I immediately call them? Let me see this. Hold on. Your hand's blocking it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jennie Moench! Jennie Moench, everybody. CA's resident camera girl / painter girl / writer girl. She's a real renaissance, and today she's going to perform for you some interpretive dance.
Okay, first off, I wanted to say that we're going to have a GoFundMe starting September 1st. The Creative Alliance is having it to help pay for the club, because you know this is free. Nobody has to pay anything to come in here. So anyway,
We gotta pay.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be paying for the room. So anyway, we're gonna have that. That's going to start September 1st. We're gonna have some really good prizes, so look for that.
Yeah! Yeah!
And I'm gonna sit for this because I get nervous, so I'm gonna sit. Okay. I'm currently working on a book of short sci-fi stories.
Wait, what's the GoFundMe called?
We haven't done it yet. I think it's going to be
You lied to me!
the Collab Nite fundraiser thing. I'm not sure. But anyway, but just look for it. Keep looking at the Creative Alliance Facebook page because I post everything on there. Okay?
Well, look, while we're up here today, while you're here, would you help us brainstorm some names? You think of a good name for our GoFundMe? Let us know, because, you know, she's slacking on the name tip, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Anyway, I'm writing a book of short stories, short sci-fi stories, and they're all near future. And so far I've finished 3 of them. This is the 4th one that I'm working on, and I'm almost finished with it too, but I was going to read a part of it. And anybody who wants to read any of my books, I will give you a free PDF file. I will give you a free video audio file of the books so far, because I just want to show them to people to get your impression of them or whatever.
Free?
So they're free. You just have to give me your email address or how to contact you on that clipboard right there, and I will send you all versions. Anyway, so I'm going to read, this one is called Hive Mentality, and it's the fourth one of the stories. And in this section, it's about midway through, and a couple things I wanted to explain to you just so that you will know. And sorry if you feel insulted that I would say this, but the difference between VR, virtual reality, and AR, augmented reality, is that virtual reality, you know, you're like completely submerged in it. I mean, like if you couldn't see the outline of some programs show you the outline of them, you would like run into stuff, you know, you'd be tripping over things because you couldn't see. Augmented reality is when you can see everything, but there could be other things added, you know, like that Pokemon game, and also
What
things could be
Pokemon
laid
game?
on top of them. But anyway, and the other thing I mentioned is bone technology, which is when, and these are available right now, you have these earphones that go around your ear, and the sound goes directly into your head, so nobody can hear it. And then a disruptor is something I made up, and it's a thing that when you have it, you are invisible to augmented reality. And one last thing is, the other thing I made up is called a transporter, and that is just the evolution of the car, you know, the electric driverless car.
Is this the story?
Okay, and those are just the things you need to know, because those are all things that I talked about previous to this bit that I'm reading.
Oh, this is the story.
Okay, so now I'm reading the story, a part of the fourth. And I gotta tell you, it gets a little racy, okay?
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay, that's why I have to sit down. Okay. Eric drove one of the very newest transport models. It was a low and sleek, barely tall enough to stand in. But the sleeker design was with most of the weight low to the ground, greatly improved the road hugging abilities and also allowed more weight and resources to be used for the luxurious interior, with its stocked bar complete with ice and draft beer. There were no monitors, none were needed, as it did have a projector that could use the entire interior as a viewing screen if the captain elected. The AI in the AI driving program was also sleeker and more responsive by adjusting speed for any minimal changes in driving conditions. I'm already getting nervous. It could be faster than even old-style manual driving machines if the captain of the ship wanted to enforce the lowering of the safety time that the vehicle should maneuver, and that would cause it to go even faster. So it was with great disappointment that he was forced to accept an older, slower model while his was being repaired. The police had found it 2 days after it was stolen, well used, then left on the side of the road. The youths had drank all the alcohol, slept in it, pissed in it, then disembarked, forgetting that as they closed the door behind them, there was no way of opening it back up. The lenses, and that's like the Google lenses kind of. Okay. The lenses were also long gone, but Eric had acquired new ones the same day that his were stolen. Being without them was intolerable. While he was making his selection online, he also inquired about security software. There didn't seem to be anything that could detect a disruptor yet, but there were some interesting options. He did find himself purchasing a rubber app. This was a kind of software that could detect someone scanning you. When it did, the invisible scanning waves would bounce off of you and exchange your information for the person that was nearest you, with the scanning device never knowing the difference, thereby shielding your name and personal information. What the consequences were for the unfortunate person next to you didn't seem consequential to Eric. He just liked the idea of the bill collectors and the process servers would be confused. The practice of scanning people was still technically illegal, but the practice had become so commonplace that no one could stop it. It started years ago with software that could identify people caught on video committing crimes. Databases of mugshots were routinely used to identify criminals in the act. But then, when facial identification was used as a password, the general public actually paid to be included. And now their personal information was readily available as attached to their personal identification numbers that was their own face, making cell phones the first widespread scanning devices. Eric came home to his wife being entertained by an interactive hologram. It was an up-and-coming fashion designer explaining to her his most recent line, while displaying the garments on a faceless white model with her body. He frowned, wondering how much it was going to cost him. But with the most dashing smile he could summon, he moved behind her as she was sitting on the couch and actually touched her cheek with his lips. She pulled away. What? I'm busy. But darling, it's Friday, and I wanted to show you the new apps that I have to go with my new glasses. He tried to say this in a flirty way. He also was hoping to distract her from making another purchase. She turned towards him in an annoyed manner. But her gaze did hesitate on his face momentarily, just enough to be taken as a sign of interest. Maybe in a bit, she snapped, before returning her attention to the designer. Ah, success, he ruminated, before retreating to his master bath to freshen up. He couldn't remember ever having sex with his wife without them both wearing lenses. They each had favorite AR programs that would exchange the other's body for their favorite celebrity. Everyone did it. And their partners never needed to know who the man or woman was that their partner had been fucking. On more than one occasion, he had Isabel resemble Marilyn Monroe. Phone technology was wonderful, since only he could hear Hugh Hefner cheering him on from a gilded throne next to the bed. It made sex an adventure. After a quick shower, he threw on a fluffy white robe and then turned the water spigot on in their made-for-two bathtub. He added some sweet-smelling crystals, then peeked into the living room as the tub was filling. His wife was still on the couch, being entertained by the hologram. But he did notice her glance his way as he was peeking at her. This encouraged him to find a cold glass of sparkling wine and offer it to her where she was sitting. He bent close to her ear and whispered that he'd be waiting for her in the bath. She didn't reply or even meet his eyes. He could tell she'd be joining him soon. He made himself comfortable in the tub with the rest of the bottle of wine and on a small table nearby. There, by the bottle, was also a small metal tube with his favorite narcotic in a smokeless oil form. He wasn't a drug addict, but the hallucinogenic made his wife's high-pitched voice sound more tolerable, especially when he paired it with the body of Gigi Lapew, his favorite new starlet that he had chosen from a list of the new program that came with his lenses. As he was laying back, eyes closed, his fantasy was interrupted when Gigi carefully glided her foot into the water beside him. Her body was fashionably slender. He oogled her as she settled into the tub in front of him, her legs interlocking with his. She set her empty glass next to the bottle and grasped the metal tube, pulling it to her full red lips. He refilled her glass, barely taking his eyes off her as she inhaled deeply. Okay, so how about if you send me that new app of yours, she said, fingering her invisible to him lenses. He immediately located the program and sent her a copy. Instantly, she received it and began scanning through her options. She took her time to make the decision. Sex with Eric had become boring, but maybe. She scrolled through a list of possibilities until she found one that made her smile. Eric watched her intently from the other side of the tub. He noticed her smile and wondered what romantic option she had chosen. Okay, she announced cheerfully. Let's do this. She was giggling as she began to rise out of the tub. No, not yet, Eric cooed, gently grasping her ankle, which was much thicker than it appeared. Let me help you bathe first. She giggled again and drew in another breath from the metal tube in her hand. He caressed her, moving her invisible silky tresses away from her neck, then mashing his nose into it a bit, as it wasn't quite where he expected. She laughed again. In her fantasy, his long snout tickled her neck and made a snorting sound. She allowed him to rub the soapy sponge across her back and then her front. It was hard for her to keep from giggling. Then, when he stood up, she couldn't help but laugh uncontrollably as her favorite childhood cartoon pig, Hinky, was standing over her with a gigantic erection. Come, my darling, he grunted, while offering a cloven hood for her hand to hold as she stood up. She accepted and carefully dried her dainty body with a white towel that looked enormous before he began dabbing her with it. The two mammals moved to their extra large bed where Hinky began rooting around his side of the bed, leaning over the edge to reach a box that contained another narcotic-filled cylinder. Isabella spied his chubby pink ham hocks and couldn't stop herself from sinking her teeth into the fluffy cheeks. The little piggy squealed shrilly and then wrestled the naughty Gigi to the mattress. They copulated with Eric expertly thrusting Gigi as she had never been thrusted before, causing her to writhe and shout in ecstasy. "Oink, oink, motherfucker!" She squealed at the top of her lungs, all while laughing uncontrollably at the honks and farting noises that were coming out of the animated pig that she was having cross-species sex with. Both ended their Friday night sex affair in complete satisfaction. Eric rolled over onto his pillow, spent. But as he lay there thinking about the experience, he looked over at Gigi, who was also hugging her pillow, and asked, "Did I hear you say oink oink?" he questioned timidly. Isabella shrugged, "I don't know," in that annoyed voice that warned him that further questions could be detrimental to his well-being. That's it. Just give me your email address if you want a copy.
So, give it up one more time for CA's own Jennie Moench. So, like she said, two things you can get with her about now before the evening's done. If you have an inclination to want to be a host, you can talk to her. Or if you want to get some more futuristic sex tales, get with her. Now, another big event. I don't know if y'all went to Art Walk this past week, but that happens once a month. And that's cool too, because it's big props to the
Second
arts.
Friday.
Second Friday of every month. So if you've never been, you should go. Because it's that's when downtown gets a little lively. And then there's like free wine and stuff at certain stops and what have you. Then, the day after that, we had Welcome Alley Fest. I don't know if anybody went to that.
It's expanded to just plain Alley Fest now that Brush Alley is all lit up.
Brush Alley?
Yes.
What's Brush Alley?
That's the other alley on the other side of Saigon Street where the Capitol Theater is.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. I didn't even go to that side. Okay, so Alley Fest. And I'm not sure what that's about exactly, except for I do know it had bands and it had vendors. So that was cool. And then next month, it's a whole nother event that's gonna have downtown jumping. It's called Drop Fest. And if anybody wants to participate somehow in Drop Fest, then you can also get with Jennie. She can get you set up. You can sign up to the piece of paper that is sitting in front of her next to her. What's that, grapefruit juice?
No, it's water with coffee in it.
Water with what in it?
It's got some coffee in it.
Coffee?
Yeah. Well, you know.
Well, next to that cloudy piss looking glass right there.
Yeah.
Cup right there.
Oh, if you want to
But-
the Buckham, the right over there is the Buckham thing, if you want to perform at Buckham. Or,
What-
I mean,
what
not
Buckham?
Buckham, but
I'm talking about Drop Fest. Now you're
But
confusing people.
what it is we're going to have the stage for 1 hour, Creative Alliances. And so I was getting names of people who might be interested in performing.
Okay, yeah, so you're interested in performing? Get down with Drop Fest. And Drop Fest is like a lot of different stuff people bring. A lot of the arts, a lot of skills, electronics. There's gonna be like graffiti artists and there's gonna be like electronic music artists from like Detroit and stuff like that. And it'd probably be like body painting, bikini body painting if you're into painting chicks in bikinis, bodies, I guess. I think that might be going on. Oh yeah, my erection from your story has gone down. So,
Kind
yeah.
of like Skin Wars or something.
Well,
You know the TV show Skin Wars,
No.
where they paint their bodies?
She's talking about the body.
What channel is that on?
For,
I forget what channel it is, but
Huh?
I forget what channel that's on, but anyway.
Yeah, right. Come on, you can tell
I
us.
see
You
it
don't...
on Netflix.
Netflix, okay. Body Wars on Netflix.
Skin Wars.
Skin Wars on
I
Netflix.
think that's what it's called. But anyway,
All
I'll
about-
just use an example of the body painting thing.
About body painting? Okay.
Stuff on bodies, and maybe they look like they have clothes on, but they don't, you know.
Oh, okay. I get you. I get you. Okay. I'll probably check that out. All right, what do we got here? Keeping things moving right along here. We have Reese? Reese or Reese? Which one is it? Because I've known one of each in my times of knowing certain names.
It's Reese.
Reese! Give it up for Reese! Reese! Down.
that black thing is right in his face, too.
Okay, so I've seen some of my videos from this thing on YouTube, and I ain't like my voice. I ain't like it at all. But, oh well.
I like your voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, your voice is good, man.
Give it up for
I
the
know,
voice. Yeah. You're gonna be unique in this world.
Yeah.
Trying to go live, it's not even though.
So I think it's already doing
Oh, it's live.
it. But
Video, but it's recording, so it's
it's doing it.
Doing the do.
Is it recording?
yeah, it says it's recording, but it says it's trying to go live, but it's not going live.
It's doing it, but I'm going.
Right. It's stretching your picture though, weirdly.
Okay.
That's kind of fresh. Got effects on that boy?
It looks like
No. But
yeah.
Man, what kind of cameraman is you, man?
Bad one.
Hook the man up.
Oh.
Is this your first time here at Collab Nite?
no, I've been doing this for a long, well, not a long time because I've been going to work and I've been missing days.
Okay.
But I've been here before.
That's what's up.
Okay. First time on the block since November. It was real close to winter when my mama put me out trapping at the trap house because my funds kinda low right now. Looking bummy and nappy, but I don't care about that. I'm just a young and dumb black individual trying to get rich before I die because I know death is on its way. I don't know if I should talk about death, guns, or killing. I never killed nobody or robbed nobody, but death, I don't know. Maybe, probably. One thing for sure, I graduated. I was in a car accident, hospital bed for like 6 months. Badass. Remember I used to hit blunts, gave up, came up off ceilings. It was loud. That was loud. Didn't know how to calm them down. Look around, who's snitching? Ain't tripping. Daddy convicted, could have been tempted with murder. Used to watch Timmy Turner on Nickelodeon. I be thinking about robbing people 'cause I'm always on a bike. Nice cars riding by. Really feeling exhausted coming home from work on my 21 speed. Need some wheels just for me. Separated from the fake, 'cause I'm too real for that. Woke up and said my prayers. Thank God for allowing me to see another year. And I rode my bike down here. Had the hallways booming last year. I was really the greatest of all time in high school. Practically arrested. Make a confession, count your blessings. And did you learn your lesson? On my way to work. And it's my birthday. But that's okay because I gotta eat. Cruising through the city on my 21. Can't wait until I'm 21. I'm spending money like never before. Still hustle. Next door. Abandoned house, I'm on the porch. Rode my bike to work on my birthday. I don't think I should be bike riding anyways. Not today 'cause it's my 19th birthday. But I struggle on my own. Never ask nobody for no help 'cause I can do it all by myself. Thank you.
Whenever you feel alone, there's a God.
Who told you my life story, man?
But you just had to make me come out of this. Know the struggle too. You gotta know God when you struggle.
I got one more, but it ain't that long. I just made it a couple days or hours ago. I'm just trying to make it out of Flint alive. And if I do, I do. Stood tall through hard times. And some nights I cry. I'm not afraid to tell you who I am. Just not trying to put my trust into you. I want to be an entrepreneur when I grow up. When I get mad, I try not to blow up. Just separate myself from the foolishness. Deep kiss, make a wish for your 19th birthday. I wish that my daddy was here, working with crying faces. What's the matter? I don't want to swim. Who is that? I don't rock with them, I'm always by myself. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Give it up one more again for Reese. Came real to the stage. Okay. Let's see. I think she's trying to tell me something, but I just don't know what it is.
It's Brian.
Well, give it up. For who?
Brian Pobocik? Oh, he's okay, cool.
Brian.
Wait, hold on. I get to say the name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind what y'all just heard. Forget that.
Okay.
Instead, give it up for Brian Pobocik. He's got a guitar, so he just might play us a song. How long you been playing that thing, man?
For a while, quite a while.
So you can give me some lessons? No? Okay. No, never mind.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Test. So, Terry kind of eclipsed something I was going to mention in the intro here. Can you hear? What is there you can't hear?
I've got to plug this back in. We unplugged it for Mr. Scanlon.
Okay.
I forgot to plug back in.
Test. That's booming nice.
That's much better.
I see the canvas is coming along real well. That might not mean much to the podcast people. Jennie's going to get a visual. For those of you not familiar with this particular open mic, it's multi-format, multi-genre, including the visual artists. We have an open canvas, and that's open to everybody and anybody who can contribute. Even Silver Fox has been known to contribute a little bit to that canvas.
That would
You
be
still
me.
having your open mic too on
Yes, I
Thursday?
am. First Thursdays of the month at 444 South Saginaw, downtown Flint at the Lunch Studios. First Thursday of the month, 6 to 9.
And you anticipate that going on for, well, at least till
I don't
December,
know,
is it?
It'll, yeah, probably the calendar year. It'll continue at least till somewhere near the end of the calendar year.
Okay.
Beyond that, I'll try to get the word out as to what's going
Okay.
further. All right. So Terry asked the question, how long have I been playing this? Well, I've been trying to play a guitar since I was 13, but I've been writing songs prior to that. The first guitar I had was a department store model, and it never kept its tune, so that the guitar playing was kind of slow. But I was thinking about that very same thing, and somewhere around September of this year will mark my 40th year as a songwriter. Now, I was writing songs prior to that, but this is the oldest song that I play out. I wrote this 40 years ago, so. Yeah, you know what? For the 40 years ago, I was not wearing glasses, so. But my hair was like.
Yeah.
We'll use our imaginations a little hard.
Should have brought the wig, man.
Oh, that would have been excellent. Now, mind you, this is written from a recently turned 14-year-old, so don't. When I asked you to be my baby, you told me that you would. Haven't come down to earth yet. Ooh, how you make me feel so good. I said, ah, you make me feel so good. You're a man's woman, doing the best you can. You're a man's woman. I'm glad that I'm your man. Glad that I'm your man. Don't know where this feeling comes from. I don't know what it's made of, but I'm sure it comes from you, and I hope that this here's love. Yes, I hope it's love. You're a man's woman, doing the best you can. You're a man's woman. I'm glad that I'm your man. I'm glad I'm your man. I know I have to stay forever. Why would I ever want to go? Soon as I come down to earth, I'm gonna love you more and more and more. I'm gonna love you more and more and more. A man's woman, doing the best you can. You're a And I'm glad that I'm your man. I'm glad that I'm your man. I'm proud that I'm your man.
Okay, so I'm going to cheat a little bit with the rest of this because
Where's that key dress?
With a pomegranate and an old ice pick, he renews those tattoos daily. Yeah, Katie, that's such a nice trick, inspired by your poolside ukulele. Katie, Katie cathartic, she plays so hot she's gonna melt the Arctic. Katie, Katie cathartic. Katie pulls at those catgut strings. This is surgery for the broken-hearted, spewing shrouds of cloud like wings from a volcano that remains uncharted. That's Katie, Katie cathartic. She plays so hot she's gonna melt the Arctic. Katie, Katie cathartic. Oh, I lost my cord. Found it. Here comes the high priest in war paint, approaching her with his mortal wound. And as the rival drummer grows more faint, peace is restored by her seaside tune. That's Katie, Katie cathartic. She plays so hot she's gonna melt the Arctic. Katie, Katie cathartic. All right, thank you. That song was loosely written about one of the performers at the Alley Fest. Is that what happened?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. It was loosely.
It's not Welcome Alley Fest.
No, I was careful about that.
Just Alley Fest.
Alley Fest, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Took me about 8 years to write this song. Actually, it took me probably 8 years to write that last one. Mostly I do write songs rather quickly. If everything cooperates, let's see. Sometimes I'm a pilgrim, a nameless pilgrim. And I have searched for so long, like so many restless children. But in the distance of the evening, far off I can hear you say, no, you'll never find salvation. You keep on running away. Sometimes I'm a pirate, a needy, greedy old pirate. I take and take whenever I feel, using any means to acquire it. But lately I have questioned the reasons for this role, where treasures lose their meaning and mutiny fills my soul. And I thought of you as the ship sank. I thought of you as I walked the plank. And when the sea captured me in its cruel embrace, I felt so blue, the thought of you, yet I could not. No, I could not recall your face. Sometimes you're an ocean, a waving, saving ocean, affecting everyone around you with the slightest of motion. Whenever you're away from me, I'm swept out with the tide, a pilgrim or a pirate, till you're once again by my side. And I thought of you as the ship sank. I thought of you as I walked the plank. And when the sea captured me in its cruel embrace, I felt so blue, the thought of you, yet I could not recall your face. Sometimes I'm a pilgrim, an aimless, nameless pilgrim, and I have searched for so long, like so many restless children, but way off in the distance, far off I can hear you call my name, saying you'll never find salvation if you keep on running away. All right, thank you.
Yeah, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
And
Well, that was nice. Bob. Original. Okay, so now coming up here, you know, these many years and seeing these songwriters singing their songs and playing their songs, it made me want to write a song. So I sat down and I wrote me a song.
Yeah, do it.
I should do it? You think I should do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because what is this?
Okay, well, it's a little country song. Goes a little something like this.
Not that country.
Every time that highlight blinks, it could only mean one thing. Ever since you left the city, you out at the club and hanging out more. Glasses of champagne out on the dance floor. Hanging with some girls I'd never seen before. Ever since I left the city, you... Just kidding.
You just made that up, didn't you?
Yeah, I wrote that myself.
Encore.
This dude stole it from me. You might have heard of him. His name is Drake.
Oh.
Ripped me off.
Oh.
Ripped me off. I think he heard it off of this show. I did that song once before.
I think he subscribes.
Next thing I know, it was on the radio, had a video and everything. I'm like, how he get a video that quick? You know what I'm saying?
You know, fast.
He don't dance as good as me though, you know what I'm saying? So I still got that.
I know.
I still got
You gonna
it.
dance for us?
No,
Okay.
but I'll prove it one day.
Okay.
I'm challenging Drake right now to a dance.
Yeah, yeah.
There
You
you
hear
go.
that, Drake?
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here
Yeah.
in Flint Town. You got the guts come down to Flint
Yeah.
Town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't
Yeah.
like Canadians down here. You know what I'm saying? We don't
Yeah.
like nothing but the syrup. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, coming to the stage is a person who almost needs no introduction. You all know her and love her. Seen her 1,000 times before. Mariel Matthews? Is that how you say it? Mariel? Mariel. Oh,
Mariel?
Mariel, not Mariel. Mariel. Okay. Give it up.
Mariel, don't just give it up, beam it up.
Alright. Just a disclaimer, this is my first time doing this, so I'm so nervous.
Okay.
Oh, give it up. You to the stage. I was making all that up about 1,000 times. I thought she was somebody different.
Alright. So, the title of this is Loving Me. Loving you is cliche. Cherry pies, blue skies, starry nights, and unforgettable sights. Loving you is endless bowls of Lucky Charms, ending the day in your arms, never wanting to be apart, and sharing a half of each other's heart. Loving you is so easy for me, but loving myself is so hard for me. Loving me is stormy days, one-night stays, arriving late, or dropping your dinner plate. Understand, I am not behind your eyes. I don't understand why my mind tells me lies. I don't want to listen. I want to love myself too. You see, my reflection is my biggest enemy. She finds my imperfections and she whispers them loud enough only I can hear. I wish you knew. But this isn't new. I just wish loving me could be as cliche as loving you.
That's a new sparkle, y'all. That's a new sparkle. Y'all ever seen the movie Sparkle? Well, go out and see it. I mean, you won't see it like at the movie theater, but you can go in and see it.
Is it
stream
animated?
You could no, it's not animated. It's not. It's like from the, I don't know, early 80s. I want to say maybe mid 80s. But yeah, it's a good movie, man. It's all about this singer and her name was Sparkle. That's just on a side note though, so it didn't really have nothing to do with this, but if you haven't seen it, you can see that. You can see Lady Sings the Blues. That's like a young,
Ross.
Diana Ross, yeah. Diana Ross. Who else was in that? Anybody else know who was in that movie? Lady Sings the Blues.
I think it was about Diana Ross, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Lando Calrissian was in it.
Oh, it wasn't about
Billy D.
Yeah, Billy D. Williams. You got it.
It wasn't about her.
Most white folks know him as Lando Calrissian. But
Oh, 45.
well,
Yeah. That is good.
we've come to that point in the evening where me as a host is charged with kind of stalling because nobody else has signed the paper. So
We could,
I can do another poem.
sure.
I got poems to do.
If anybody wants to sign up.
I got poems for days.
I know.
Let's see.
I'll get up again.
What'd you say?
He
I
said-
said I'll get up again.
This man's got guts. All right. Well, you can get up, but I'm already up. So
Well, I know.
I'm all the way up.
Okay.
Matter of fact, this is a good time for story time. I wrote a story. A lot of people don't know me as a storyteller.
So, if you wanted to.
And you know what I'm saying? This story, no, you guys want to hear this. This story's great. This is probably the best story you've ever heard. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to go anywhere for this. You want to be right here. This is epic. This is an epic story. It's all about a young troll trying to find his way in the world.
Yeah, the water troll.
And this painting actually is a representative of some of the illustration that will be in the illustrated version of the story. So you can see how wild that is. That's how wild the story is. All right, so this y'all, just hear this story out. Hear the story out. I'm just blowing it up more now, you know what I'm saying? That's just to keep y'all here because, you know, it makes me feel better. This story is called Troll's Folly. What do you think? Better without the mic or with the mic? Without the mic, with the mic.
With the mic.
Without, with.
Like just right in the middle. Right in the middle.
Halfway?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, right here?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. There once was a water troll, lived in the water, grinning smugly, reminiscing over cattle he had slaughtered. Forest creatures grew more wary when they ventured near the lake, for when the troll seen one drinking, that's a life he'd quickly take. Ever lurking in the darkness like a demon most foul, a tall tale to the humans, watched closely by the owl. Outrun by the horses, he would dig in mud for frogs, and snack on salamanders somewhere out by the bog. He scaled the murky waters till he ate up all the fishes. His kind was the main reason that there are no wild chickens. There come one dreary night the troll was chomping on a bone. All around was total quiet and he found himself alone. Not a single woodland creature had a feeling most strange. This was a new experience, it clearly threw him in a rage. To and fro across the woods, even slashing at the trees. By himself he wailed in anger till he fell to his knees. He thought remaining days alone, it filled him full of dread. A memory of his dead moms popped of nowhere to his head. She stopped breastfeeding early, 'cause too often he would bite her. And when she changed his diaper, burned his bottom with a lighter. This was the only love he felt, but it was born out of malice. She said to make him tougher, she would beat him till build callous. There was no place like home, and she called the cave her palace. Fed him red broth from a human skull that she would call a chalice. Often told him they had no one, and she was his only friend. Who would have guessed a little tumor would bring her quickly to an end? Before she passed, she said, "Help me, I'll die upon my feet. And after I am gone, let this body be as meat. Never should you starve, child, never should you beg. Be a curse on this awful world, take everything instead." Those words rang in his ear as a hissing whispered call. She then left him with his fears, his tears reminder of her fall. From then on he lived in the moment, never thought about tomorrow. Never knew his lust for blood would ever bring about his sorrow. Sitting by the river, he was gazing in the air and realized his constant trolling only masked his despair. The troll thought about the salamanders, thought about the frogs. He thought about the fishes and the chickens he had wronged. He remembered all the horses that would come to drink and play, and all the other woodland creatures he wished he hadn't chased away. He thought about his mother and how she often lied. He thought there's nothing left to do but to commit suicide. And there was one dreary night a young boy ventured out alone. All around was strangely quiet except the falling of a bone. From the mouth of the cave he then heard a sudden scramble, so he dipped between some stones before he slipped behind the brambles. Water troll he ran out, and the boy he seen his frenzy. He thought, no way, stories of the water trolls no whimsy. The boy peeked out amazed while the troll was in a craze, attacking everything in sight. Why did he choose this fearsome night? Then all of a sudden the troll's demeanor took a change, as the boy looked on in silence, saw a sight most strange. The boy stood up in wonder, soon forgetting all his fears, as the troll, no longer raging, started streaming bitter tears. As the boy looked on, he thought, that old troll could use a friend. He said, I could probably help him, I could show him to pretend. The troll took hold of a vine hanging from a nearby tree, tied a noose around his neck, and said, now this will end my misery. It seemed he never noticed the boy had climbed up on the branch. He said, when the troll goes swinging, I think that will be my chance. The troll jumped off a boulder screaming, goodbye, awful life. It was then the boy reached in his trunks and soon produced a knife. The water troll went a-swinging, strange fruit upon the vine. The little boy started cutting, had a different plan in mind. As the troll fell like a ringing bell, he heard a certain crack. He thought, now it's finally over, before everything went black. His eyes began to open, vision blurry, out of whack. What appeared a lake of fire was fall leaves seen from his back. It was then a strange face slid to the middle of his view. Looking down, a grinning man-child that said, ha ha, I saved you. That constrictor almost got you, really took you by surprise. But I bit him on his tail and then I poked him in the eyes. And when he shook it off, I already had my knife. And I says, let him go or this blade will take your very life. Well, of course he let you go, and normally I would get a reward. But we'll call this one a freebie because I was feeling kind of bored. The troll was a bit confused, got unsteady to his feet. Thrown by this interaction, this meeting was quite unique. He went on, now that I think about it, maybe you can help me with this thing. I embarked on this journey searching for the mystic Toad King. The troll said, well, if death isn't the answer, maybe then a change of scenery. Maybe this King of Toads guy could be like some magic genie. As much as I would like to go on this tale told in rhyme, we've come to the beginning of their quest. A story for another time.
Woo! Whoa, 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 whoa.
Thank you.
Bravo!
Thank you.
Bravo!
There's the Mystic Toad King, by the way.
I'll take a picture.
So, yeah, we got some peeps that would like to get another shot up here.
Can I tell a story?
Oh.
You?
It's not mine. Can I read a story from somebody else, or does it have to be mine?
No, you can read somebody's story.
You okay with that?
Yeah. You haven't been up yet. Did you sign the paper? No, wrong paper.
Not that one.
Nope,
Not that
wrong
one.
paper.
That
You got to
one.
sign that paper.
Do I have to sign up? Oh, wait. What?
It's a release.
Is that okay?
Okay. Now you can do the story.
Cool.
Hey, if you want to play some music next, you can. After he goes.
All right, sure.
Just for mentioning that.
Because this is not mine, you can't film me.
Oh, I can't?
You can't. I don't know. I don't have a release for it.
How do I stop this?
I can stop it if you want.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it's copyright violation.
What's his name?
Brownigan. B-R-A-U-T-I-G-A-N.
Oh, you should talk
Brodigan.
about Golden
Brodigan.
Leaf and their open mic is tonight.
Oh yeah. So I mean, for those of you who stuck around after this open mic is done, there's a even better open mic going on at the Golden Leaf. Who's ever heard of that? Golden Leaf.
I know we know we're going to
Yeah, y'all know where it's at. You see, they know.
I used to
It's
go.
the oldest juke joint
Yeah,
in Flint,
yeah.
Yeah.
100 years old, and it's the bomb. They got
It is.
good people, good music, and stiff drinks.
What's the name?
The Golden Leaf. The Golden Leaf. It's right there on, I don't know what that street's
It's
called.
Harrison, isn't it? Is it Harrison?
But it's a street that goes, behind the street.
It's like Wellington.
And, no, it's not, it's not 12, it's not 12 and
It's
7.
Harrison, isn't it?
Is it Harrison?
I think what?
All right, so there's some buildings by 12th and
Just
Saginaw.
follow
And
us.
if you go behind those buildings, like it looks like you're going into a dangerous back alley, but it's
Yeah.
really not. It's going to be dark. It's going to be scary, but then it's going to be clearing. And when you come to the clearing, you're going to see shining like a beacon of light. the golden leaf with a mix of you know, blues folk, old folk, young folk, hipsters, and brothers and sisters.
The magicians.
Really?
Oh, is Q up there?
I'm hearing there's going to be magicians tonight. Musicians.
That's what I was told.
Okay. So yeah, that's going on. That don't even really get started until we get done. You know what I'm saying?
They wait for us.
Yeah, they wait for us to get there, and then they do their thing.
Yeah.
But in this immediate interlude, we are going to have a brother that we had up here recently come up again. What's his name again? Oh yeah, Justin. Wait, hold on. It wasn't scandalous. Hold on. Scanlon. What ethnicity is that?
I'm poor Russian immigrant.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I spent my time in Kazakhstan with Bora.
Glorious Kazakhstan. Coming all the way from glorious Kazakhstan.
Enjoying all the benefits of human rights that their wonderful government provides. And they paid me good money to say that.
World's #1 producer of potassium. Quick fact.
You know what they used to make with potassium? Permanganate.
After the show, free permanganate for everyone.
Quiet stars, quiet chords from my guitar, floating on the silence that surrounds us. Quiet thoughts by quiet fields, quiet walks by quiet streams, and a window overlooking Corcovado and the sea. How lovely. This is where I want to be, here with you, so close to me, until the final flicker of life's ember. I who was lost and lonely, believing life was only a bitter, tragic joke, I found with you. The meaning of existence, oh my love. This is where I want to be, here with you, so close to me, until the final flicker of life's ember. I who was lost and lonely, believing life was only a bitter, tragic joke, I found with you the meaning of existence, oh my love, oh my love, oh of the urban type pieces. This one, though, is called God Only Knows.
Yes.
Spend any time in the city, you know that everybody says that at least once a day. Early light, the nightingales packed up his tails for the night. The shoes of a fisherman past the lurch of a drunk. Can anyone show me their souls lost and found? See, God knows it, so don't look at me. And we're like the kiss between the sky and the sea. But as we enter the ocean, they'll be back at the stores, waving the stumps of their dreams and nothing more. In these heartless towers, we threw blind at the sky. They drive us to concrete by the whites of our eyes. Even the air would tear with sirens and sounds. We'll slip away like angels unbound. See, God knows where we're going, so don't look at me. And we're like the kiss between the sky and the sea. But as we enter the ocean, they'll be back at the stores, waving the stumps of their dreams and nothing more. They'll just be waving the stumps of their dreams and nothing more. But I think heaven's a place that must be everyone's, anyone's birthright by violence or grace. You can knock on the doors and make all the calls, but who could conceive of heavenly walls? God knows where we're going, so don't look at me. And we're like the kiss between the sky and the sea. But as we enter the ocean, they'll be back at the stores, waving the stumps of their dreams. And God knows where we're going, so don't look at me. And we're like the kiss between the sky and the sea. But as we enter the ocean, they'll be back at the shores, waving the stumps of their dreams and nothing more. They'll be just waving the stumps of their dreams and nothing more. They'll just be waving the stumps of their dreams and nothing more. And nothing more. And nothing more. And this last one, the lyrics are written by a woman named Mary Baker-Eddy, and sort of anarchistic, mystical kind of thing there, so we'll just go with it. It's called It Matters Not. It matters not what be thy lot, so loved of God. Oh, storm or shine, pure peace is thy darkness still is satisfied. Our darkling sense, our eyes grow hands. God is good. False fears are foes, and truth tatters those when understood. When understood. Thank you.
How about the funny man?
Yeah. Mark.
The funny man's back.
Yay, Mark! Mr. Taylor.
How's everybody doing out there?
Yeah.
I am back again.
Yeah.
This time I'll do my sit-down comedy.
Okay.
So, I went to a music store and they told me, I went to a drum shop, they told me to beat it. Did you hear about the violinist and the guitar player that was going on a date? No strings attached. Yeah. So, so there's this guy that had a broken tuba. You know what he used? He used a tube of glue. Anyway, there's these two pianos that are walking home from a gig, and they get to their door and they can't open the door, so one turns to the other and says, "Man, doesn't that beat all?" He says, "We have 80 keys and none of them can open the door."
Yeah.
I see that we have documentary people here. I was watching a documentary about dogs, and boy, was it rough to watch. Yeah. I give it 4 wagtails, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got one more. So, there's this guy that goes on an airplane, and he sits down, and they make the announcement that dinner's ready. So they're walking up to everybody, all the stewardess, and they get up to him, and he says, he turns around and says, "Well, we're going to have dinner, sir." He says, "What would you like to have?" And he says, "What are my options?" He says, "Yes or no." I got one more. So there's this couple that goes to a magic show, and they're sitting in the front row, and this magician comes out and does this outstanding magic trick. So the lady yells out in the crowd, "How do you do that? How does he do that?" He said, "Ma'am, if I told you I'd kill you." He says, "That's okay, tell it to my husband." Well, anyway, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Woo!
Come on, do a couple more.
Oh, a couple more. Okay. So, I had a dream that was a cashew nut and I sneezed.
Good chew.
Gesundheit. So, there's these two guys talking, and the other one turns around and says, "Hey, me and a partner of mine, we were going to be in the movies, but we had sinus trouble." And he says, "Sinus trouble, what did that have to do with the movie? Did you catch a cold?" And he said, no, nobody would sign us.
Yeah.
So there's these two guys talking, and one turns around, the other says, hey, I have a dog that can catch a stick about 5 miles away. And he says, boy, that's far-fetched. I took a ghost into a bar. He had some booze.
Yeah.
You know why ghosts are allergic to milk? Because they're like ghost intolerant. You know why cows have hoofs instead of feet? Because they lactose. So, anyway, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Yeah!
Yeah.
So are you gonna?
All right. All right. So, has anybody else got some words to say? Some things to do? Some.
Oh, thank you, man.
Some performance to make. I got a joke. Check this out.
Okay.
So, this guy walks into a bar, right? And everybody's staring at him. And he's used to it by now. So he just sits up at the bar and, you know, before too long, the obvious question comes out. The elephant in the room is addressed. And because, see, this man had a head the size of a grapefruit. So the bartender's like, I know you probably get this question all the time. The guy cuts him off and says, how did my head get so small? It's like, no, I wasn't born with this. It was something that happened to me. And it doesn't affect me that much except for, you know, I can't get, you know, very many hats my size anymore. It's I gotta go to Baby Gap to just get a Scully, you know what I'm saying? So he said, look, you give me a free drink and I'll tell you the story. So bartender whips him up his favorite drink, it's on the house, and he says, okay, so this is what happened. I went out on a fishing trip, and it's out there, and it was a pretty good day, you know. I was catching some things, and, you know, not bad. I caught enough for dinner for a couple days, and I was cool with that, and I finally got this huge one, right? I'm pulling in, something huge tugs at my line, and I'm wrestling and fighting in it. I swear it took like at least an hour to pull this thing in, and it was a mermaid. And it was a beautiful mermaid, man, and it was the most beautiful, gorgeous, you know, had the most beautiful face I've ever seen. And she was like, you know, she begged me. She was like, please, let me go, let me go. And I'm just thinking, wow, you know, I can't. And she went on and she said, look, if you let me go, I'll grant you one wish. So he says, well, you know, it's just me and you out here, and you're so fine, you know. I would like to, you know, get a little freaky with you, you know what I'm saying? You know, do the thing. And so she was like, well, you know, I would, but I don't think it'll work. You know, I got this fish body, you know, you're all human from the waist down. We just won't work out like that. And he's like, all right, well, then I'll take a little hit. Oh! That's the only joke I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And since, you know, I mean, there's only, what, 3 of us in here now? I guess we're going to have to wrap this up early.
Oh, yes.
What? You want to say something?
He wants to read one more.
Okay. We got time. Sure. So, you know, Let's give it up for Reese one more time.
Yeah, Reese.
Okay, this is another. This is another poem about other people, but I try not to think about other people. I just try to think about me and what my actions can cause, and I don't like thinking about people, but here it goes. The things that irks my nerve the most is when people try to be something they not. Just play as you. Don't play as a fool trying to fit in a spot. I'ma just remain solid and speak my mind, get mad and press rewind. She like it when I hit it from behind. My words really be crushing feelings. I'm glad I don't got no feelings. Sympathy, I don't really think they care for me. Hercules and Beethoven hopped off the porch as a youngin'. A couple years later, I started making money. Then my family started acting funny. Giving it to them like it's nothing. Wanna live in Chicago or even maybe Toronto, where I can divide myself from the fake. Only the fake section gon' hate, and the real gon' relate, but the real not gon' relate with the fake. In school, I read books that was non-fictional. Subliminal, I'm really tripping. My old man is a criminal. I'm not ashamed about it. It just made me go harder. Sometimes I just want to move far away and isolate myself from the fake. Follow me on Twitter and you'll see his mugshot. Follow me on Twitter and you'll see his mugshot. If you really got a Twitter, my Twitter name is @RIP, GARY, H. Follow me on Twitter and you'll see his mugshot. I'm still on Woodcock. Last year or so, I would say the block was hot. This ain't young boy, I'm just saying that the block is really hot. I be working, really no time for writing, hitchhiking. I was never catching rides. I work 5 days a week, just how I planned it to be. She wanna argue, I'ma let her have it. If I squeeze it, would that be an automatic? In school, I was trapping, and they was acting real rough in a group. And I move individually. I'm not trying to have the fame, I just want my name to be known. They call it rapping, I call it poetry. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Good job.
Now, can like somebody take my picture of me up here? Cause I always wanted to do it like that. and never really had a chance to do.
On yours?
And today's your birthday?
Congratulations.
Yeah, you know, go to Ken, you know, when you get done here, and figure out what you want, and I'll buy you a drink. It's a coffee bar, okay?
Okay.
You want the whole thing or just you?
This one?
Good. What do you want to do?
Can I take this one?
You take the mic.
Take the mic? Oh,
Yeah, yeah, you can.
oh, hold it up.
Yeah,
hold it.
Oh, you want a picture of the mic up and a picture of you standing?
no, like just in my hand. Just...
Thank you.
All right, we take one far away and one close. You ready?
Yeah.
So, I would like to thank all of the individuals who had the heart and courage to grace this stage with their presence. Drop us some real words of encouragement, humor, and glory. And it's so hard to say goodbye to